On today's show, we show how one Rock Hill Jr. takes a different approach on stringed instruments. Juan Duron is in studio with the recap of the first varsity Blue Hawks football game. These stories and more on this edition of HTN Daily. Good afternoon, Rock Hill. Today is finally Friday, and I'm Trois Murphy. We are live from Studio 1060. To start today's show, I'm going to send it over to Khshaeta, Cama with today's news.
Thank you, Troy. Here are today's announcements. The school store, The Nest, opens next Monday for students. Students can purchase Rock Hill apparel such as sweatshirts, t-shirts, and face masks. The store will be open during all lunches. The Rock Hill Step Team is looking for students interested in joining their group. Stepping team uses their own bodies to produce rhythmic sounds and perform during pep rallies and other events. Dr. Blue is holding an interest meeting during both online and in person on Thursday, October 1st during sort time in room 2064. The library will be celebrating Banned Books Week next week, September 27th through October 3rd. Banned Books Week is an annual event celebrating the freedom to read and highlights books that have been challenged or censored in libraries and schools across the nation. Go to the library and see the display and follow them on Twitter for daily postings. As you know, September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and from selling gold bracelets at lunch every day to hanging up posters in the hallways, Rock Hill Student Council has been working for the past 3 weeks to raise money and awareness for the cause. Mrs. Slade, one of the Student Council sponsors, has spent countless hours organizing events and activities to raise money for the St. Jude's fundraiser, as childhood cancer has been something that has weighed heavy on her heart.
Service is one of our core values at Rock Hill, and so of course Student Council wanted to have a service project, and childhood cancer is something near and dear to my heart. I have a good friend whose daughter actually died of cancer at 4, and now she has another daughter going through cancer. So it's just watching these kids, how resilient they are, and they just plow through day by day. You know, they're just so strong and brave, and it's amazing, and I just thought it'd be a great thing to bring to Rock Hill.
With still one more week of fundraising, Student Council has gone above and beyond in aiding this cause, and is still open to accept your generous donations until next week. That's all of today's news. Back to you, Troy.
With a wide variety of fine arts offered at Rock Hill, reporters Sarah Cronin and Kaylee Johnson sat down with a one-of-a-kind orchestra student.
Carly is the only member of the Rock Hill Orchestra to play the harp, and her story started in 3rd grade when she saw an angel at home.
I saw this statue in my parents' living room. They were playing lyre, but I thought it was a harp. I thought it was really pretty, and so I bombarded my parents asking them, oh, I want to play the harp. My parents eventually caved in about 2 or 3 years later.
School is not the only orchestra Carly is involved in.
Every day after school, I have to practice about 45 minutes to an hour, so every day I have to get home, do my homework, and then practice at night because I have school orchestra, outside orchestra, and then I also have private lessons.
Being involved in 2 different music programs is a new change in speed for Carly, since her school in Illinois didn't even have one for her to participate in.
Before my old school, we didn't have an orchestra, so we drive up all the way to Peoria, which is the closest city, and I'd play the harp there.
Although Carly sets out a majority of her day to play her harp, she still makes sure that there is time for her to do something unrelated to music.
For HTN Daily, I'm Sarah Cronin, Frisco.
Last night, Rock Hill football played their first game against Heritage. Juan Duron is in studio to recap last night's game with today's season pass.
Thank you, Choice. Last night, Rock Hill football played their first ever official game against Frisco Heritage. Unfortunately, the outcome was not what we had hoped for, and the Blue Hawks lost 61-45. We did have some big players on the field, though, players like Donovan Shannon, who ran for a total of 174 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Aiden Houston, who in only 5 receptions ran over 100 yards and 1 touchdown. In the first quarter, Jet Wiseman scored the first points in Rock Hill history, a field goal for 3 points and put us up 3-0. But that would be the only lead we take all game. The next touchdown was the first ever Blue Hawk touchdown, a 7-yard run by our quarterback, Brenner Cox. With the second quarter over, the Blue Hawks were down 35-10, but we shortened the lead after Brenner Cox finds Aiden Houston for a touchdown, leaving the score at 35-17. After that, Donovan Shannon scores 3 touchdowns and Brenner Cox scores another rushing touchdown, and it was looking like a comeback was in the making. Unfortunately, with the score being 54-45, Heritage was able to squeeze one more touchdown with 2 minutes and 8 minutes left in the quarter and killed the Rock Hill comeback. With the final score was 61-45, but both Brenner and Donovan showed real potential as a lethal quarterback and running back duo. And once they settle in, they will be a real threat to all teams they play. That's all for today's Season Pass. I'll see you again on Tuesday. Back to you, Khshaeta.
I'm not going to lie to you, Troy. I feel like we had a comeback and it was so close.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next week's game.
Honestly. Well, that's all for today's show. For HTN Daily, I'm Khshaeta, Cama.
I'm Juan Duron.
And I'm Troy Murphy. Mask up and rock on.